It's Rice. He's got an opening. Rice, he could go all the way. He's got one man to beat.
Jace Becker spins, hangs, complete.
Broughton breaks through. It's a race to the end zone. Touchdown, Sioux. The Sioux strike first.
It used to be
On the road.
Conquers back on top as Region 8 champions.
That's Ben Heenick. Heenick with a load of steam, and he bowls over.
One as Blake Bergstrom looks to go. Blake Bergstrom floating in midair for two.
Backdoor cut. Cheryl Hayes off the glass for two. There is Nesham. Wow, look at that shot by Addison Nesham. She's putting on a show. You think her heart is pounding? No way. The loose opponent Buffalo Bombers are headed to the state.
Corner, 3 seconds, Siliano. No. Putback, no. The Killdeer Cowboys survive.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of GameDay Media, LLP, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent by GameDay Media, LLP. GameDay Media, LLP does not own the rights to the background music of this live stream. All rights belong to the music owners. No copyright infringement intended.
Today's Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by RTC Networks, Hagen Equipment Incorporated, First International Bank and Trust, Nodak Insurance Company, Eric Mogan, Johnson and Sundin, Attorneys at Law, Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial, Farmers Union Oil of Watford City, Patriot Fuels LLC, Mackenzie County Heritage Park and Museum, Cornerstone Bank, TNT Measurements Incorporated, Northern States Fishing Tools, WCAG Church, Doug Rolfson, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Wolfpack Booster Club, NCC, Dakota Country 96.1 FM.
Hello and welcome to beautiful Watford City, North Dakota. We are here at Fridley Field for tonight's outstanding AA West matchup between the Watford City Wolves and the #1 team in the state, the Minot North Sentinels. It's warm for the first Friday of October, and no place we'd rather be than right here for some high school football between two teams that are coming in pretty confident into this matchup. Minot North undefeated, as you can imagine, with a #1 ranking, and their defense is the real deal. Meanwhile, Watford City comes in fresh off of a 20-17 victory over Dickinson in their first AA West game of the season, and they come in with a 3-2 overall record, trying to make it 2 wins in a row as they are back on their home field here tonight. Absolutely perfect conditions for football. A little bit of breeze that might play a role early in the game. It's going to be less and less as the evening goes. But we want to welcome you in here to our Hagen Equipment pregame show. Hagen Equipment, your source for Case IH, Bobcat, and many more lines of equipment in Watford City. And let's go down onto the field right now as Ross Sundin is with head coach Jim Dooley of the Watford City Wolves. Ross, take it away.
Coach Jim Dooley, Ross Sundin, game meeting. How are you doing this evening?
Good.
Coach Dooley, big matchup tonight. We're looking at a 3 in a long time. You had a big win last week against Dickinson, 2017, pulled it out in the 4th. What can we expect this week?
Well, I'm hoping we improve now. I mean, our opponent this week's a little different than this is a different animal, I think, for almost everyone in AA. There's a reason they're #1. Just solid program. I mean, they don't have, I don't want to say, I mean, they're not, no one's invincible, but they're sound. They do everything well. They don't try to do too much. They are who they are, and you got to line up and out execute them and out, physical them, and that's our challenge tonight.
Coach, Statistics, we're 90% run, they're 80% run. We give up 23.2 points a game, they give up just 5.6 points a game. What have you done to prepare for that salty defense that the Sentinels have?
Well, I think, again, it's just kind of a matter of more working on ourselves and not putting ourselves in bad situations by penalties, by turnovers, by just mistakes. And we shored up a lot of that, I think, last week from the previous week. A matter of just out here, so that's really what we're trying to work on. Kind of two similar teams, but I even said they're at a place where we're at in the season.
Awesome. Wish you the best of luck, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Have a great night.
Yeah.
Titus, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Ross. That was your Watford City Farmers Union coaches' comments. Farmers Union Oil of Watford City has been serving the customers in and around the surrounding community since 1929. A huge thank you to Farmers Union Oil of Watford City for bringing us those coaches' comments. Ross is going to stay down on the field. We'll see if he can catch up with the Minot North head coach as well, Jacob Holman. Great to hear from Coach Dooley, fresh off of that victory down in Dickinson, which most people viewed as quite an upset, as the Wolves got one in the win column there against the Dickinson Mavericks. Coming up a little bit later on in your Hagen Equipment pregame show, we are going to take a look at the starting lineups, along with our TNT measurement spotlight players. Boy, we've got a lot of individuals to talk about. We're going to try and narrow it down to one each on these two teams, but lots to talk about, not only as a team, but with some great individuals here as well. Minot North made it to the state semifinals last year, where they lost to eventual state champion West Fargo Horace. They're trying to make those extra couple of steps to get a state championship. Watford City took a huge step in qualifying for the playoffs with last week's win. And boy, another win today would sure do a lot of good as far as clinching a playoff spot and then really upping the confidence level for this team that has already had some great moments. They've stubbed their toe a few times. That first game of the year on the road at Central Cass did not go their way. And then they had the loss on homecoming there against the Grand Forks Central Knights. And that one did not go quite as well as the Wolves had hoped either. But other than that, these Wolves have won their other 3 games, and they have been some fun football. It's been some fun football to watch. At this time, we're going to send it down to Ross Sundin as he is caught up with Minot North head coach Jacob Holman.
Thank you, Titus. Coach Holman, big game tonight, second in the conference. You're 1-0. You're giving up just 5.6 points per game on the season thus far. What can we expect to see out of the Sentinels tonight?
We got kids that play really hard. We challenge them to execute each week, and we have a unique challenge on the defensive side tonight, stopping Coach Dooley's offense and the challenges that it brings. So we're looking forward to it.
I noticed 80% run, 20% pass for the Sentinels, 90% Watford, 10% pass. Is this game going to be decided in the trenches?
I think so. Yeah, I think every game is. We hang our hat on being physical and downhill on offense, and then our D-line is very talented. So, yeah, we challenge those kids for sure, and it'll be a physical game.
One last question for you. Will Bentley, your tight end, last year, first team, all defense, linebacker, doing a heck of a job, I understand, on the offensive side. What can you tell us about Will Bentley?
Will's an awesome kid, first off. Really good student, just a really good person. But he's put on a ton of weight. He's about 220 pounds now, and he's very physical, one of our smartest guys. So we rely heavily on Will on both sides of the ball. So hopefully Will has a great night tonight.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
All right, thank you very much, Ross. Great job down on the field. As always, that is our color commentator and sideline reporter, Ross Sundin, as he's getting a few steps in here at this beautiful artificial surface at Fridley Field. We're going to have a picturesque night here tonight. We hope the football is just as nice as the setting here this evening in Watford City. Once again, you're watching your Hagen Equipment pregame show. Hagen Equipment, your source for Case IH, Bobcat, and many more lines of equipment in Watford City. You're watching Game Day Media on YouTube, and also we are on the radio this evening. We want to welcome our friends who are listening to us tonight on Dakota Country 96.1 KYYZ FM, also online at dakotacountry961.com. Special shout out to all of you listening to us on the radio, along with those watching on Game Day Media on YouTube. Tell your friends about us. If they are looking for some good high school football to watch, send them our way. We've got some good ones for you all over Game Day Media tonight. One of 3 matchups that we have for you here today on Game Day Media. There's a 9-man game, Class A game, and this Class AA game right here this evening. Going to have the coin toss down on the field, and we'll go ahead and zoom in. We'll keep it right here during our Hagen Equipment pregame show, and we'll see if we can listen in on who is going to be winning the coin toss and receiving the football first, and then we'll prepare for our first break in the action as both teams are getting warmed up for this one. Once again, my name is Titus Stenberg. Happy and proud to be bringing you tonight's play-by-play action from Watford City. I'll be joined momentarily by Ross Sundin, and we've got Curtis Long back running the camera this evening again. Great to have him along after a couple of weeks off. And Jackson Lee has been our producer for every single game that we've done so far this year, and he has done a great job, and he will continue to do so here this evening. So it looks like the coin toss results are in. Drew Floggen is our white hat this evening. Watford City won the toss and will defer, and they will kick towards the west end zone. So with that, we're going to step aside. We will settle into a little more of your Hagen Equipment pregame show, and we'll be back for more from Watford City after this 3-minute timeout.
Hey, Dad, will you check the cows?
Use this instead, Grandpa. The cows look fine, Dad.
In my day, we had to sleep in the barn to check the cows.
Combining tradition and technology, respecting the past, while embracing the future. RTC Networks.
When the job demands power and precision, turn to Hagen Equipment in Watford City, your proud Case IH and Bobcat dealer. From equipment rentals to a full service department and an extensive parts inventory, Hagen Equipment has what you need to get the job done right. Stop by 805 South Main Street in Watford or visit HagenEquipment.com. Hagen Equipment, work ready, field proven.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries,
but maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand,
but maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank,
but maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
Game Day Media is proud to showcase our local athletes, but we can't do it without the support of our community. We're inviting business owners like you to join our growing list of sponsors. Sponsorship not only helps give student athletes the recognition they deserve, but also puts your business front and center with fans, families, and the community. Partner with us today to promote local athletes and your business through Game Day Media. Together, we make a winning team.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Dad.
Can you hang out with Grandpa for a bit? I'm down in the barn.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll be up there in a bit.
RTC Networks capture cameras. Keep an eye on what you care about.
When you have financial questions or ideas, you need someone to listen and provide insight about your options. Shiloh Chavez and her team with LPL Financial can review your specific situation and help create a strategy unique to you and your goals. Give her a call at 701 842-4244 or email at shiloh.chavez@lpl.com.
Testing.
Welcome back to your Hagen Equipment pregame show. As let's send it down to the field. Let's take a look at our TNT Measurements Spotlight players. TNT Measurements has been serving and supporting the oil and gas industry for over 25 years, focusing on oil and gas measurement. When you want it measured right, contact TNT Measurements. For Minot North, let's take a look at number 17, Will Bentley. And Ross, you got to hear Coach Holman's thoughts on him, and we're in for a treat being able to watch an athlete like him play here on this field tonight, aren't we?
Absolutely, Titus. Last year, when you look at Will Bentley, junior, first team defense as a linebacker, brings it back this year. You heard Coach Holmgren put on some weight, obviously, in the weight room, and brings a good physique and a good attitude to the field.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch him. It's hard to pick just one player on that team. We'll get into it a little bit later as the game goes on, but their stats are absolutely incredible to look at through 5 games. We'll detail you on those a little bit later on in our action. But for now, we're going to switch it over to the Watford City side and take a look at their spotlight player for tonight. That's going to be Will Langford. So Will has been battling an ankle injury throughout the season. He missed the first game of the year, but since then, he has been a stabilizing force in the defensive backfield for Watford City. He's one of the few seniors on this team. He's a 6'4", 175-pound senior. And Ross, I feel like he could have a huge role in tonight's game. We know that Minot North doesn't pass much, but when they do, Watford City needs to be prepared for it, and I feel like Will Langford can be a difference maker if maybe he gets an interception, a big-time pass deflection, or he might need to save a touchdown if one of those running backs gets through one of their big holes, and it might be up to Will to make a tackle on the back end.
Absolutely, Titus. You know, when you look at the statistics, Braden Blickery doesn't throw a ball a lot, but when he does it with a lot of success. And I really do think that this game is going to turn on the defense. And if Will Langford can come up big for the Wolves might come up big.
It will be fun to watch. It's going to be strength versus strength when Watford City has the football going up against this top-ranked defense in the AA ranks. And they are going to be a tough one to handle. While we're talking about the AA polls, let's take a look at those there. No change at all from last week. There's Minot North all alone at number 1, receiving 17 first-place votes. Kindred at number 2, followed by a team that Watford City saw earlier this year, the Grand Forks Central Knights, checking in at 3. And then after that, 2 teams out there is number 4, Devils Lake, number 5, Central Cass, that played against each other earlier on in the year, and they will round out the top 5. At this time, we're going to send it over to our PA announcer, Greg McNary, as he introduces our national anthem.
Honor America and any veterans we've ever had with our national anthem. Tonight's national anthem will be played by the Watford City High School Pep Band under the direction of Sarah Gerke.
Is the band playing it?
We get that wrong?
Safina's supposed to be singing right now. Yeah.
Oh.
Are you doing it? No, because the band's not ready to play.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. They're doing
I screwed that up. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Do you want to go down and help? Do you want to help him with the drum, then are you good? I think we're okay. I'm so sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome the Minot North Sentinels and their fans today to Fred Fridley Field as they take on our Watford City Wolves. Ladies and gentlemen, this game will be played under the strictest code of good sportsmanship. Fans are asked to support their team and refrain from booing at any time. Participants are asked to be positive role models at all times and to remember that you represent your school and community by your actions. Help us all to be number one in sportsmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, officials for this game are registered and approved by the North Dakota High School Activities Association. The officials are Drew Floggen, Bryden Picklesmeyer, Derek Remick, and Corey Anderson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting offense for the Minot North Sentinels. At left tackle, a sophomore, number 55, Ethan Howie. At left guard, a junior, number 52, Andres Good. At center, a junior, number 78, Gabe Mendez. At right guard, a sophomore, number 66, Max Hall. At right tackle, a junior, number 50, Gavin McKeithen. Tight end tonight, a junior, number 17, Will Bentley. Wide receivers, a senior, number 6, Caden Flavin. Wide receiver, a sophomore, number 5, Cameron Jez. Fullback, a junior, number 8, Evan Berg. Tailback, a junior, number 12, Christian Dedmond. And the quarterback tonight for the Sentinels, he's a junior, number 11, Braden Blickery.
Those starting lineups brought to you by Patriot Fuels, conveniently located on Highway 85 North between Alexander and Watford City.
Jacob Holman. His assistants are Zach Rudolph, Barry Holman, Stephen Ralph, Logan Kruger, Jordan Sonford, Sam Weeder, Kyle Van Berkum, Habib Rufai, Tino Vito, and Dalton Davis.
So your starting lineups for Minot North. The Watford City Wolves will be emerging here shortly. Looks like we're going to be meeting the Wolves defense as the cheerleaders come out on the field. And once again, we'll send it over to our PA announcer for the evening, Greg McNair.
Starters for your Watford City Wolves. Starting at linebacker, number 3, Tristan DeBreeze. Starting at a corner tonight, number 4, Connor Winter. Starting at the other corner tonight, number 5, Riley Liedel Berger. Starting at safety tonight, number 15, Will Langford. At linebacker tonight, number 30, Brogan Shannon. At linebacker tonight, number 52, Harper Mulberg. Defensive tackle, number 58, Caleb Pickering. Defensive end, number 72, the big redhead, Thaden Arnold. At defensive end, number 77, Brandon Spacier. At tackle, defensive tackle, number 78, John Holland. And rounding out the starting lineup tonight for our Watford City Wolves, he's the safety, number 81, Carter Breitbach.
There are the starters for Watford City. Once again, brought to you by Patriot Fuels. There's a bunch of fired up Wolves.
Assisted by Justin Hager, Marty Wagoner, John Holloway, Michael Williams, and Ethan Duper.
And a huge thank you to Greg McNary for lending us his skills on the mic there to get you fired up and ready to go with your starting lineups. We're going to be starting early here tonight as we get ready for the opening kickoff of the game. I'm getting ahead of myself, almost ready for basketball season. But so you're going to be your Northern States Fishing Tools opening kickoff. Northern States Fishing Tools, locally owned fishing and rental tool company serving the Williston Basin since 1978. Well, Ross, what are you looking forward to here in this matchup tonight?
I'm looking for a heavy pass game.
Yeah, just like last week, right?
Right. You know, earlier we talked a little bit about with Coach smash mouth football and this game being decided in the trenches. And I don't think either team's really going to get away from what they like to do. It's going to be a question who executes and who brings physicality tonight.
Yeah, and I think a big key for Watford City specifically is to avoid an early mistake. We saw that happen against Grand Forks Central where Naz Fisher was able to jump that route and create a pick six early on. Wolves need to avoid plays like that as they try to pull off the upset here today on their home turf. There's the opening kickoff. It's taken by Josiah Jacquinette, starting up at the 17, breaks through one tackle as he goes in between the numbers and breaks another tackle. 40-45, a flag thrown as he lunges for the 50-yard line, tackled by Will Langford. And we'll see what the flag is all about on that very first play of the ball game.
It was an impressive run back for yards after contact for the Sentinels.
Yeah, he was a tough matchup for the Wolves last year in this matchup. But they're going to start a little bit further back. It looks like it happened right near the end of the return. So an opening play penalty against Minot North hurt their field position a little bit as they move it back to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, still starting out in a good spot, Titus. You know, earlier in the week, Coach Holmgren talked about discipline. We'll see how that carries forward in the first quarter.
First play of the game, good play by the Wolves defense. Their leading tackler, Harper Moberg, on the tackle as he brings down Cooper Chick, their leading rusher, after a gain of 1 yard. And, Ross, we're going to have a little more time in between plays than we did last week when we were down in Killdeer. So let's talk about some of these stats. Minot North is led by Cooper Chick, 45 carries, 332 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. He is one of 6 Sentinel ball carriers with over 100 yards already on the season, just 5 games into this year.
They just have such a special running back by committee. 1,395 yards on the season already.
That's a lot. And there is Hannon on the carry from the slot, and he will pick up 5 as he gets it up to the 46-yard line. So a good gain on second down, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4, and what would be a passing situation for many teams across the state. Not so here tonight, but they will after a play-action fake. Thaden Arnold almost got the sack, but there he is. Will Pentley tackled by Will Langford, and he was down. So it will be a catch and a first down, almost a fumble. But he was ruled down by contact, and they will pick up a first down on the first pass of the game.
Our spotlight player of the game, Will Bentley, you'll notice tonight he's going to get it done on both sides of the ball.
Pickup of 11 yards, and now we do see a little bit of hurry up from this Sentinel offense as they're going to put it on the ground, and that is Langford with another tackle, but getting into the secondary was Cooper Chick with his longest carry of this game so far, getting it inside the 35, down to the 34, pickup of 9. And that brings up 2nd and 1.
Yeah, we're going to get a little taste of what Watford's going to have in store for it this evening. You're not going to see a lot of trickery on the behalf of the Sentinels, but you're going to see them handle that line and try to get to the next level.
Already 1 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. They're looking for a 2nd down conversion here, and just about jumping off sides. As I don't see any flags down, they'll run the play, and it's going to be a first down on the ground. As taking it from the 34 down to the 24 was the ball carrier. I believe that was Cam Jez on that carry.
You know, I haven't compared it pound for pound, but Minot's offensive line looks absolutely huge to me.
Yeah. And there goes Berg on that carry, and he gets it inside the 20. So they're mixing it up as far as pace goes here, and they get it down to the 17. And they're tackled by Brogan Shannon, but they have run the football here pretty fast after some of these plays. And here comes the toss to the near side. Chick able to turn the corner, tackled near the 10-yard line by Tristan DeVries, but that's another Minot North first down. 6 running plays already has given them 39 yards.
You know, just watching the tempo of this Minot offense, it's interesting to me. It doesn't really give a rhythm to anything.
Yeah. Quick carry there. Yeah. They get it down to the 5-yard line. Chick once again. So 2nd and goal now from the 5-yard line, as they are knocking on the door already. This 9th play of the drive coming up. They're driving with the wind at their back. 2nd and goal from the 5. A handoff going outside. A stiff arm there by Christian Dedmond. And he picks up 2 yards, maybe 3, but the Wolves keep him out of the end zone.
You know, there again, you see a little bit of that variety in the backfield for the Sentinels. Coach Holmgren, you know, trusting 5 different guys to get it done for him.
And there it's Blickery keeping it himself, lunging for the end zone, and he is into the end zone for a Minot North touchdown. Well, looks like we lost our camera for a second there, but Braden Blickery getting on the board for Minot North with that 3-yard touchdown plunge, making it 6-0 with the first Cornerstone Bank touchdown of the ball game. And they're going to bring out their kicker for the extra point attempt. Snap spot. Kick is good by Joseph Olson. And with that on your NCC scoreboard, it's 7-0 Minot North as they strike first. We're going to step aside, and we'll be back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by TNT Measurements Incorporated, providing oil and gas allocation meter proving, calibrations, and production facility lac provings. To schedule your proving, contact Derek Thompson at 701-421-1351. Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app, and as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs, with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company. Stop by our office in Watford City and visit with Eric Mogan and Brady Monroe to see how we can help.
So Minot North goes 10 plays, 60 yards in 3 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock as Joseph Olson knocks in the extra point. And now here is the kickoff from him. Driving Breitbach inside his 10, back to his 5. He cuts it inside the numbers and up to the 20-yard line. A late flag is thrown at the end of that play, and we'll see where they put Watford City's offense to start their first offensive possession of the ball game. It's going to be a face mask, so second penalty against Minot North special teams. That'll improve Watford City's field position a little bit after the return by Breitbach brought it up around the 20-yard line. Looks like Watford City will have a 1st and 10 at their own 35. And now, Ross, if you're Coach Dooley and Watford City, you got to try to match what you saw Minot North do on their first possession.
This is going to be an interesting offensive series. You know, visiting with Holmgren earlier off the radio, he talked to me about the discipline of his defense and making their reads. We'll see if they can execute.
So Watford City over 1,700 yards rushing so far to start the year in their first 5 games. Once again, they are 3-2. We've got another flag thrown before Watford City's first play, and it's an encroachment against the Sentinels' defense. So their 3rd penalty of the game has backed them up and gotten the Wolves a little closer, making it 1st and 5. Here is a handoff on 1st down. Yeah, that'll be a short gain up the middle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We're starting about an identical field position as Minot North did. So we'll see if Watford City can capitalize.
It was Jaden Wagner on the first carry of the game for Watford City. He is the third leading rusher for the Wolves. Let's talk about this rushing attack a little bit, as Riley Liedalberger leads the team with 106 carries, 690 yards, and 9 touchdowns through 5 games. Tristan DeVries, 511 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jaden Wagner, 258 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running right into the teeth of this very stiff Minot North defense. And Liedalberger is close to a first down. If it's a right foot spot, he got it. If it's a left foot spot, he's going to be inches short.
They gave it to him.
So a first down for Watford City.
You know, it's interesting when you look at the maturity of the background for Watford City. You know, Liedalberger has been strong from the beginning. DeVries really came on and shined, and Dickinson especially, 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jacob Wagner really shined out in Grand Forks Central game. So it seems to me that as the season wears on, they get more comfortable with this offense. You really see them starting to blossom as an offense.
So DeVries go in motion on that play. The snap was dropped. I'm going to say that Wagner did end up being the ball carrier there, and he picks up a yard. Not a huge gain, but they did the most important thing, and that was hold on to the football. Live to fight another down, as now it's 2nd and 9 for the Wolves. Driving into this setting sun. Starting quarterback, Baylor Salas for the Wolves. Starting wide receivers are Connor Winter. Out there wide to the left, where's number 4. As the Wolves have everybody else right in near the football. It'll be Salas handing it off over the left side, and DeVries on the carry. Not much room. I think he lost a yard. 3rd and 10.
It seems like the defensive Minot North has been doing a good job so far of following the misdirection that takes shape in the backfield.
It's hard to keep track of where the football is when Watford City has the ball. And now Watford City is faced with a 3rd and 10. They are in a difficult position here, and we'll see if they put it in the air or try to keep it in the ground, maybe pick up half of it. They could be in 4-down territory here at this point in the game. Salas will hand it off. That's Liedalberger trying to stretch, and he has nowhere to go. All kinds of linebackers and defensive linemen in the backfield there to stop the Wolves. A loss of a yard brings up 4th and 11, and this is probably a punting situation if you're Watford City.
Absolutely. You know, when you take a look at Minot's defense, you can just see how smothering they are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long to realize why they only give up 5.6 points per game. I'm sure Watford City is going to be making some adjustments, but this is going to be a long night for the Wolves' offensive line.
Yeah, looking at their game results so far this year, they've shut out Williston 41-0. They beat Fargo South 28-7. They beat Red River 45-14. They beat Fargo North 28-7, and they beat St. Mary's 28-0. We've got our first time out of the game. It's brought to you by Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial. We'll be back to see what Coach Dooley decides to do on this 4th and 10 after this 30-second timeout.
At Johnson & Sundin Law Office, we combine big case expertise with small town service. Since 1980, we've fought for clients across western North Dakota. From oil and gas disputes to serious injury and wrongful death cases, probate, agriculture, and more. No matter what issue, our experienced team is ready to stand by your side. In our office in Watford City, we're here for you, wherever you are. Johnson & Sundin, expert legal representation rooted in North Dakota.
Welcome back to Watford City. Titus Denberg alongside Ross Sundin. We're joined in the booth tonight by expert cameraman Curtis Long and our outstanding longtime veteran producer now in Jackson Lee. So Ross, coming out of that timeout, the Wolves start in their somewhat normal offensive formation. Now they do a little motion, and Baylor Salas will punt. And it's a high, short punt. Bounces, and it takes a backwards bounce. Good alert play by Birch Cheddar to limit the damage in field position. That traveled a long ways up in the air, but not very far. And after bouncing at the 43, it bounced backwards, and Cheddar downs it at the 46. So Minot North with some good field position to start their second offensive drive.
Yeah, lucky Cheddar was in the right place at the right time, or they might have started back at the line again.
Yeah. Yep, so second offensive possession for Minot North. This drive starting at the 4:29 mark. They lead it on your NCC scoreboard by a score of 7-0. We want to thank our premium sponsors, RTC Networks. We will get some RTC Networks instant replays in here at some point during this broadcast, but want to thank them along with NCC and their partnership for Game Day Media. A fumbled snap, but Blickery turns a broken play into a big gain. Langford makes the tackle, but not before Blickery picked up the football and ran for a first down into Watford City territory.
Yeah, that's just a great athletic play by number 11. It could have been catastrophic for the Sentinels, and he took nothing and made it into something.
Yeah, 12-yard gain there for the quarterback. So he's had 2 rushes. One of them was a touchdown, and that one was a broken play first down, as the Sentinel offense will do some substitutions here as they prepare for this first play of the drive in Watford City territory. Already inside 4 minutes left to go in this fast-moving first quarter between 2 great rushing offenses. A handoff to Chick. Looks for a hole over the right tackle, and he finds one inside the 35 near another Sentinel first down. And that's a gain of 7.
You see the luxury that Coach Holmgren has there with his offensive line. He's going to sub those guys in and out all night, trying to keep them fresh. And they all do a wonderful job for him up front.
7 first downs for Minot North. And they have thrown the ball once. They have run 11 rushing plays. So far they are living up to that 80% rush offense as they run another handoff. This one to the fullback. Big hole over the right side as Evan Berg picks up another first down, taking it from the 35 all the way down outside the numbers near the 20. That's a pickup of 15 first down Sentinels.
Boy, Berg sure looks smooth coming around and finding that seam on the outside. A little faster than I thought he was going to be. He's a big boy.
Yeah, for a fullback, he turned the Jets on there and turned that into a good play. First and 10, Minot North. Toss coming near side, Chick. Oh, good open field tackle there by our spotlight player, Will Langford. And let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay. Langford limited the damage there on that play.
I think Will Langford's going to have a busy night.
Pickup of 8, and there is a handoff. That is Christian Deadman with a stiff arm, and he's into the end zone for another Sentinel touchdown.
That was a nice run by Deadman. When you look at the size of that hole, you really got to tip your hat again to that offensive line.
So
I'll give kudos to him in a minute when we have an opportunity.
Yeah, Deadman goes for 12, and the second touchdown of the game for Minot North as they get ready to tack on another extra point. Snap spot. Kick is up, and it is good. So with that, it is now Minot North 14, Watford City nothing on your NCC scoreboard. 114 yards of offense so far for Minot North. Other 2 scoring drives. We're back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Quite a drive there by Minot North. 5 plays, 54 yards. Just took 2 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock as Christian Deadman puts it into the end zone. And they get ready to send it deep once again. Back to receive. Carter Breitbach, he's going to let it bounce and go through the end zone for a touchback. Yeah, Ross, your thoughts there on that touchdown run by Minot North?
Boy, I got to tip my hat to the offensive line. They blew a hole for Deadman, and you could have drove a truck through it. I happen to notice down below now we've got Brandon Spacer for Watford City. It looks like he's got a bum right wheel, so I don't know if he's going to see any more action for the rest of the night, and that's really going to hurt the Wolves.
That is. He was our spotlight player a couple of games ago. He's had a really nice season, part of this really good offensive and defensive line that has taken the Wolves to their 3 victories so far this year. They're trying for win number 4 and win number 2 in the conference, as once again the defensive line for Minot North blasts through and gets a big stop. Braxton Thompson, first man to hit the ball carrier. That's a loss of 3.
Well, if the Wolves are without Spacer tonight, that's definitely going to hurt him. He's put on a lot of size over the summer. He came into fall camp looking real well. He's athletic, he's fast, he's big, he's strong. He's got all those intangibles that you like to see, except right now he's nursing that leg. So we'll see what goes on as the game progresses.
Yeah, it's never a good sign when you see a player with a helmet off at this stage of the game. 1:41 left to play in this first quarter. Minot North leading it 14-0 on your NCC scoreboard after that Cornerstone Bank touchdown, their second of the first quarter. A handoff to the right side. Once again, it's not much room for Riley Liedalberger and the Wolves. He does get it back up to the 20 for 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you know, it wouldn't surprise me at some point in time, and hopefully not this deep in Watford City's end, but I think Coach Dooley's probably going to have to go to his pass playbook a little bit and loosen things up.
Yep, I think you're right, and part of it is just picking that right time to do it. This Minot North Sentinel defense has lived up to expectations for me right now to start with. We'll see if the Wolves can get something as they try the left side this time with DeVries. And it's not much room once again for the Wolves, as now Minot North will take a timeout, and we will take it as well. It's brought to you by Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial. We'll be back with 4th and 9 for Watford City after this 30-second timeout.
Since 1978, Northern States Fishing Tools of Watford City has been your trusted partner in the oil field. Serving the Wollaston Basin, we offer top-quality fishing and rental tools, including packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. With expert knowledge and decades of experience, we deliver results tailored to your needs, all at competitive prices. Give us a call, 701-842-3350, or visit northernstatesfishingtools.com. Northern States Fishing Tools, quality tools, proven service.
Welcome back to Fridley Field. Both teams have spent one timeout in this first quarter. Minot North taking a timeout there to maybe get one extra play or two with the wind at their back. Head coach Jacob Holman led this team all the way to the state semifinals last year. They have some unfinished business that they want to get if they can qualify for the postseason once again as they get ready for this punt return. It's a short one, fair catch called for by Gavin Toby, and he brings it into the Watford City 40-yard line. Once again, good field position for Minot North, and this one is going to even start in Watford City territory. 41 seconds remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, if you're a Watford City fan, you don't like to see this field position in favor of the Sentinels. It's a short field at 40 yards out.
And the wind at their back for the remainder of this quarter as Blickery fakes the handoff. He wants to put it in the air. He does. It's a short one to Bentley. He gets around the first tackler, upended by Will Langford. And forward progress is going to give him the 29-yard line, a gain of 11 on that passing play. Second time those two have connected for 11 yards, and the hurry-up offense gets them right back to the line of scrimmage. It's a handoff to Chick over the right side. Nice cutback. He's got first down yardage and more. Inside the 15, the 10, the 5. He is brought down just short of the goal line by Riley Liedalberger, tackled at the 1.
A touchdown-saving tackle by Riley Liedalberger.
And we'll see if they can get it snapped. They do, but they did not get it into the end zone, and that might be the final play of this first quarter. It was a good one for Minot North, and that is the final play of the quarter. So we will switch ends. Your score at the end of one quarter of play: Minot North 14, Watford City nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter after this 1 minute timeout.
Looking to save on fuel and fuel up fast? Patriot Fuels of Alexander, North Dakota is your partner in profit. We're proud to support the trucking industry with high-speed fueling systems, top quality products, and vendor relationships that put your success first. Join the Patriot Fuels Fleet Card program and unlock exclusive discounts, or simply pay at the pump. Either way, you're fueling with integrity and efficiency. Patriot Fuels, driven to deliver more, located in Alexander, North Dakota. Farmers Union Oil Company of Watford City has been serving the customers in and around the surrounding community since 1929. Farmers Union Oil believes in community involvement and has supported numerous activities since the beginning. We take pride in giving back to our patrons through dividends and stock retirements. Our customer service should be our top focus to ensure a pleasurable experience for you, our customer. Whether you're looking for gas, fuel, hardware, or just needing to fuel the body, Farmers Union Oil is your one-stop shop.
Welcome back to Fridley Field as the Minot North Sentinels look to drive into the setting sun, and they're in a good spot to add to their 14-0 lead. Ball spotted just inside the Watford City 1-yard line.
Yeah, they tried to pop it in with a Blickery keeper, and luckily Watford City was ready for it and made an excellent defensive stand.
Jacquinette goes wide to the left. Quick handoff. It's Berg, and he's in the end zone, but hold on. We've got officials with a flag thrown, and let's see, false start.
Offense number 1, 5-yard penalty.
So it was Jacquinette, the wide receiver, called for that penalty, and that backs them up to the 6-yard line, gives the Wolves a little bit of breathing room on defense, as we'll see what Watford City, if they can make the stop here, as it's now 2nd and goal from the 6.
Yeah, an unfortunate penalty for the Sentinels.
Blickery goes under center. Hands off to Dedmond. Big hole on the right side, and he jogs in there for a touchdown. A great job by the offensive line, and Christian Dedmond hits pay dirt once again.
Well, the blocking scheme for Minot North is incredible. I don't know if there's even a defenseman in the way until Dedmond got into the end zone.
Yeah, look at that. RTC Network's instant replay. Dedmond now 3 carries, 21 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty good day at the office already for Dedmond. As the extra point from Olsen. Oh, it's no good. He knew it off his foot. He pulled it to the left, and that will keep it at 20-0. We're going to keep it right here as we thank a few of our live read sponsors. I want to thank them for coming alongside of us this year, including WCAG Church. One church, multiple locations. Check them out at the website there, wcag.church. Service times on your screen as they're located in Fairview, Belfield, Kenmare, and right here in Watford City. Also, the McKinsey County Heritage Park and North Dakota Oil Museum, located on the west side of Watford City, where Pioneering Spirit runs strong, open year-round, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And also the Wolf Pack Booster Club, doing a great job supporting Watford City activities and athletics. Check them out on Facebook. Just search Wolfpack Booster Club, where the strength is in the pack. So Minot North, a 4-play drive there, driving at 40 yards in a drive that took just 45 seconds off the clock, and another rushing touchdown, that one from 6 yards out.
You know, we always talk about the offensive line in generalities, but I'm going to give a shout-out to Tyler Steele and Max Hall and Andre Good, Gabe Menendez, Heath and Howie, Gavin McKeithen, and, of course, the tight end, our spotlight player, They have just done a fantastic job this first quarter and into the early second quarter.
Yeah, there's Breitbach with the return. He gets it up to the 25-yard line. Tackled there by number 25, Tyler Kippen. Yeah, that offensive line doing a lot of good work for Minot North. Andres Good, he is a senior. He was on the first team as well last year. First team offensive lineman, 6 foot, 225-pound senior for Coach Holman and these Minot North Sentinels. They scored 14 in the first, now 6 already in the second, as they lead this one 20-0 with 11:51 to play before halftime. Watford City taking over at their own 26-yard line.
It's the one area of the game I really have to congratulate Coach Jim Dooley and Coach Jacob Holman on is they really appreciate their offensive line and what they've been able to do. They'll talk about the balance in their backfield and the good things that they can do, but it all starts up front.
It certainly does. Baylor Salas got tripped up in the backfield that time. That looked like the Wolves had it schemed up for a positive play there, but unfortunately Salas lost his footing in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 2nd and 11 as they spot the ball back just inside the 25-yard line. And this Wolves offensive line has done some great things throughout the year. They just have not been able to assert their will yet in this one. We'll see as the game goes along if they can start making some progress. Salas, quick pass to the right side. It's caught. Not a lot of running room out there, though, for Cade Singer, as he does make the catch and gets it across the 25, a pickup of about 2 yards for the Wolves.
Kind of a dangerous play down at that end, but I like the call. We've got to find a way to get Minot back on their heels just a little bit. They're just chomping at the bit to get that rush on.
Third possession of the game for Watford City. Right now, Ross, the Wolves have 8 yards of offense, 6 rushing yards, 2 passing yards, and they have had 1 first down. That was helped out by a encroachment penalty against Minot North that gained them 5 yards, so they need a big play. Quick pass to Winter. Oh, it looked like he had some pretty good position against the defender, Gavin Toby, but the throw sailed on Salas a little bit, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah.
Looked like a good play there.
Yeah, I really like the call. He did have good position. It did sail on him just a little bit. Completion there would probably had a first down. Going back to some of the discussion about pass play, rush yards, I believe Minot's been giving up about 118 yards roughly per game.
Yeah.
We're going to be hard-pressed to get there at this pace.
Yeah, 10:26 left in the first. It looks like the first half, I should say, second quarter, as they're going to try it. Oh, it was the same play and almost the same exact result as once again intended for Winter and just out of his reach. And that's a turnover on downs.
Here you're going to see a disadvantage of having a shorter statured quarterback. He's having a difficult time getting up over the line, and so that's why that ball's sailing on him a little bit. Last Friday we watched the Kilder game, and we had Lamborn out of Bowman County. He was 6'4". That's a little easier to throw for a fellow that size.
It certainly is. Salas has done a nice job after the injury to Bockelman, but unable to complete that pass there. The turnover on downs gives it to Minot North, and they're looking for more yardage, and they get it. A first down right up the middle as they take it from the 26 down inside the 15. That was number 6, Harrison Schaefer, with his first rushing play of the game. And after a gain of 12, they give it right back to him, and he will find the end zone. 26-0, Minot North. Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay as Schaefer, with his first 2 carries of the game, he does that entire drive on him by himself, and he picks up 26 yards and a touchdown over 2 carries.
That's a nice run by Schaefer. This is going to be kind of difficult now for Coach Dooley, I think, to keep his Wolves on task.
Extra point is straight through that time, and with that, on your NCC scoreboard, it shows Minot North 27, Watford City nothing. 10:03 left to go in the second quarter. You're watching Game Day Media and listening to Dakota Country 96.1.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA.
Welcome back to Watford City. You're watching the #1 team in the state, and they are proving it on the field tonight. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns for this offense. They've had drives of 60, 54, 40, and 26 yards. And they have looked like the #1 team in the state right here. So far, 185 yards of offense, 163 rushing yards. Breitbach and Luna back to receive. This will be Aaron Luna from the 6-yard line across the 10. The 15 gets tripped up there and then leveled by 2 different Minot North Sentinels, sending him backwards at about the 19-yard line.
You know, no surprise for me to see Marlon Singleton down there. He is a speedy cover man, and he really made that play for the Sentinels. He held him up, and there was a lot of white right behind him to finish it off.
The Wolves looking for some momentum before halftime, now finding themselves behind 27-0. Ball spotted at their own 19-yard line. Offense right back on the field after they had a turnover on downs. They went 4 plays, picked up 1 yard, but threw 2 incompletions and ended up handing it right back to the Sentinel offense, who scored. They went 26 yards in just 18 seconds. This will be a running play on first down. Nowhere to go for the Wolves offense. It was Tristan DeVries trying the left side of the line that time. No gain.
Yeah, no, Coach Dooley's offense keeps poking around looking for a weakness in that front of Minot North, but I'm not sure they're going to find one tonight unless maybe people start wearing down a little bit.
And every big play you make, it seems like Minot North, they're getting a little more excited, and they're ready for the next play as they now get ready for a 2nd and 10. It's a fumble. Liedalberger goes back and gets it, but that was a broken play that never had a chance to get started. Big TFL for Cam Jez, the 6'4", 200-pound junior for Minot North.
He is a big boy. You know, it's interesting if you're watching, obviously you're going to see a really tight offensive line formation for Watford City, and that, of course, plays right into the deception of the run offense for Coach Dooley. And, you know, talking to Coach Holman earlier, he talked about his reads and being disciplined and following whatever reads they're making out there, and they're doing an effective job.
So 3rd down and 18 after the loss on that fumble. As Salas empties the backfield, he's going to take the snap from shotgun. Oh, it's a punt on 3rd down, trying to catch Minot North off guard, and it ends up being another short punt. That'll be down at the 23-yard line. Tried to gain some field position with some trickery, but it ends up only gaining about 11 yards. And Minot North once again starting with outstanding field position. It's getting a little bit closer every time they start a drive. Now this one at the Wolves' 23-yard line.
Yeah, not an ideal situation for Watford City. When they split out like that, I thought they had some potential. I wasn't thinking punt. I don't think Minot was either.
Yeah, but it ends up being a short one. What's left of the wind was at his back there, but it didn't help him that much, as there's a carry by Cian Hannon. And he takes it over the left side inside the 20. His 2nd carry of the game, picks up about 5 yards as they spot it at the 18, 2nd and 5. 27-0. Sentinels with the lead. Just under 8 minutes left to play before halftime. Blickery takes the snap. Tosses it to Hannon. He cuts up right at the hash mark inside the 15, inside the 10, somehow stays on his feet, and he is in the end zone for a Minot North touchdown from 18 yards away. Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay. Hannon now the 4th different Sentinel ball carrier with a touchdown tonight, and their 2nd consecutive 2-play drive.
Yeah, they really spread it around. I thought Will Langford did an excellent job of coming up. He just narrowly missed an open field tackle there.
Extra point on its way, and that one is hooked to the left. So kicker now 3 for 5 on extra point attempts. It adds up to a 33-0 Sentinel lead. We're back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Welcome back to Watford City. 186 yards of rushing offense now for Minot North, 208 total yards and 5 quick touchdowns. Ross, if you blink, you miss one of these plays and you miss some big chunks of yardage that this Minot North rushing offense is able to pick up.
They just chew up ground, don't they, Titus?
They sure do. Joseph Olson, the kicker, now 3 for 5 on extra points, and he has been busy from this kickoff position as he tees it up at the 40. Lets that one fly. It'll drop into the arms of Luna at the 13. Crosses the 15 to the 20. Turns around and ends up going backwards. He was going to look for some room towards the middle of the field, but this Minot North special teams was all over that return.
You know, I'm impressed with Minot special teams. Watford City's got some speedy return guys back there, and Minot has done an incredible job of getting down there and containing.
So the Wolves offense had a first down on their first drive, but have not been able to get anything going since then. One positive for the Wolves, they have not committed a turnover. They have not committed a penalty as of yet, but every yard has been tough for the Wolves to pick up. We've got 2 passing yards and 6 rushing yards so far tonight.
You know, I really like that slant route to Connor Winter, and I hope that Watford City goes back to that sooner than later, maybe in a different way, but I think that's going to be their opportunity for success.
Salas hands it off to DeVries. Oh, I thought he was going to break a tackle, and unfortunately, he is slow in getting up after that play. And we're going to have an injury timeout with 7:22 left to play in the second quarter. Score remains Minot North 33, Watford City nothing. We'll be back to Fridley Field after this quick timeout.
When the job demands power and precision, turn to Hagen Equipment in Watford City, your proud Case IH and Bobcat dealer. From equipment rentals to a full service department and an extensive parts inventory, Hagen Equipment has what you need to get the job done right. Stop by 805 South Main Street in Watford or visit HagenEquipment.com. Hagen Equipment, work ready, field proven.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries,
But like, maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand,
But like, maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank,
But like, maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
Welcome back to Fridley Field. Beautiful sunset setting over the Fridley Field scoreboard. It was Tristan DeVries, the injured Watford City Wolf, on that play, getting some help as he makes it towards the sideline. Head coach Jim Dooley, assistant coach Justin Hager, and head athletic trainer Zach Beebe out there to check on Tristan DeVries, one of the important pieces in this Watford City backfield. The 6'3 junior has had a nice year so far. Been a frustrating game for him along with his teammates, and we certainly hope that he is all right going forward. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Watford City as we go back to action with the ball at the 17-yard line of the Wolves. Second and 10 for Watford City. Salas back to pass, throws it right. There is Winter, who breaks a tackle. First down, Watford City. A pickup of 13 yards as Jack Annette brings Winter to the turf.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Dooley has found a vulnerable spot in the Sentinel offense, or at least on a play. I'm sure they'll make some adjustments here, but I like that call.
Second first down for the Wolves. First one of this drive, and that's so important, not just to complete a pass, but give this Minot North defense a little something else to think about. So far, they've been focused on the run, and they've done a much better job than any other Watford City opponent has at stopping the rushing attack. But now they got to think about at least the potential that Watford City might pass.
Absolutely. You know, the big thing that Minot has going forward on its run defense is their linebackers are so big and strong and fast. They can really move laterally where they scrape along the line, and they do a great job of filling those holes.
Riley Liedall-Berger carries on 1st and 10, trying the right side, picks up 1.5 yards, brings up 2nd down and 8. Liedall-Berger had a great game down in Dickinson, has really had a great season so far for the Wolves. Picks up 1 yard there. He is up to 5 carries for 5 yards so far tonight.
I see Tristan DeBreeze down there, and it looked like he was tackled awkwardly, and I wonder if he didn't just tweak his hip abductor a little bit on the left side there.
Second night for the Wolves. They put it on the ground. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by Minot North, Max Hall. No, they're going to say it was a forward pass, so incomplete.
It's a big break for Watford City.
Yeah. That is. I saw the ball on the ground. I didn't see how it got there. Apparently it was one of those shuffle passes, which is a smart play strategically. As long as it leaves the quarterback's hand going forward, it's a passing attempt. And since it fell on the turf there in the forward passing motion, it goes as an incomplete pass. Stops the clock. Now 3rd and 9 for Watford City. Salas fakes like he received the snap. It's a quick snap to the fullback. I believe it was Jaden Wagner over on the right side. He gains 4 up to the 35, and I think you got to go for it here, don't you, on 4th and 5?
Absolutely. You know, the nice thing there, you could see what the pass did for Watford City there. They made a completion, and then they come back, fake the throw, and Wagner picks up 4. Just enough to keep Minot on their heels a little bit.
So it's 4th and 5 now for the Wolves offense. Clock continuing to run. They picked up a first down via the pass earlier in this drive. They could really use another first down here. It'll be a quick pass to the right side. Langford couldn't get there, and it was picked off by his counterpart, number 15, guarding number 15. It's Gunnar Jost with the interception, first turnover of the game, and it goes in the favor of Minot North.
That was a nice play by Gunnar Jost. On the Watford City side of the ball, I like the play call, just that it was a step ahead of Langford, and Jost made a good read.
So Gunnar Jost with the INT. And Minot North once again starting a drive in Watford City territory. This one at the 43-yard line. Good play there by the Wolves defense.
Well, the way it shook out for Watford City, that interception was probably just about as good as any of the punts they've had in the last few series.
Yep, that is true. They have not gained a lot of field position via the punt so far. And a good tackle by the Wolves defensive line there. Limited that to no gain. And it's now 2nd and 10. Blickery to pass. It's tipped. It's up in the air, and it falls incomplete. Riley Liedall-Berger almost had the interception. Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay on that one.
I think that was Harper Moberg who got his paws up there and tipped it.
Good deflection. Diving attempt at an interception, but it falls incomplete. That's the first incomplete pass of the game for Minot North. 3rd and 10 for the Sentinels. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Blickery in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to his right, steps up, throws it over the middle, wobbling, and it is caught at the 15-yard line. We're going to try and sneak in a RTC Networks instant replay here is now. No, they're saying it's incomplete. Ross, take a look at the replay here. I thought Langford was going to have an interception.
I did too.
And then Minot North acted like they had caught it, but apparently it hit the turf, and it is 4th and 10.
You know, that ball bounced around on the back side of the receiver and the defender, so I couldn't really see if it hit the ground, but the ref certainly thought it did, and so here we are.
So 4th and 10, first time tonight that Minot North has come out into punt formation. Watford City sends Bryson Wolf back to receive, standing at the 10-yard line. Punt by right-footed punter Harrison Schaefer. He scored a touchdown, and now he delivers a punt inside the 20, where it'll be downed by Minot North special teams. So the Wolves get a defensive stop. And now with 4:17 to go and 2 timeouts left, they'll try to put together a lengthy drive here before halftime.
You know, I like what Minot's doing here. They're starting to work on some other aspects of their game. Obviously, they have a very dominant running attack. There's no getting away from that. Last series, they tried to go to the pass a little bit. It'd be interesting to see if they continue to do that through the second quarter.
So 1st and 10 for Watford City, starting this drive at their own 15-yard line. Wolves picked up a first down on their last drive that started at their own 17. And play coming to the near side. It's strung out. See if they mark forward progress as a gain of a yard for Carter. That'll be about it. Second down.
You know, Titus, anytime you see a defensive stand and you've got 8 defensive jerseys around the ball carrier, you know people are flying to the ball. It's just built into them instinctively.
Definitely. So Carter Breitbach picks up a yard on that play up to the 16. Well, it's 2nd down and 9 with a running clock down inside 4 minutes remaining in this second quarter. As the Wolves keep it on the ground and gain some positive yardage heading up the middle. Not quite a first down, but a good positive carry there for Riley Liedel-Berger, getting it up to the 24-yard line.
Our offensive line got a helmet on somebody there, made a nice hole for Liedel-Berger, and he took advantage.
So that brings up 3rd down and a long one, closer to 2 as it's spotted inside the 24. The Wolves have basically 2 plays to pick up 2 yards. They'd obviously like to do it on 3rd down. Keep those chains moving. Wolves trying the right side, and they're not going to get it there. Riley Liedel-Berger tried the right side of the offensive formation. Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay as once again that defensive front for Minot North was ready for play on that one.
You know, I was just about to tell you 2 yards could just as well be 10 against this salty defense, and we saw it play out just that way.
So 4th and 2, but down early, 33-0. It looks like the Wolves will go for it. And we'll see which direction they're going to try to go. It's like the dive to Wagner, and I don't think he got it. We'll wait for the official spot.
We might have a fumble here.
Well, it was 4th down, and I don't think they got the yardage necessary. And that will be a turnover on downs.
Close, but no cigar.
So Minot North's defense gets another stop. Deep in Watford City territory, they'll send their offense back out onto the field. 1st and 10 from the Wolves' 24-yard line with 2:06 to play before halftime. Minot North has 2 timeouts remaining. Handoff goes up the middle.
Well, if you like watching defensive football, you got to like watching Minot North's defense. They're something special.
Schaefer on that carry picks up a yard. 2nd and 9, and a hurry-up style run-heavy offense for the Sentinels. Keeps on picking up yardage. Nice spin move as Schaefer gets close to another North first down. They spot it at the 14, and that will be just enough for another fresh set of downs for these Sentinels, their 13th first down of the first half.
Yeah, when you talk about next level football, Minot's offense, it doesn't take them very long to get into that next level.
I formation, Blickery fakes the handoff, play action pass into the end zone, caught, touchdown, Josiah Jackanet from 14 yards out. Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay on Blickery's first touchdown pass of the game. And Jackanet brings it in.
Just a nice pass and catch.
1:12 left to go in this first half. It's been all Minot North, the number one team in the state, that time with a 50-second drive that took just 3 plays. Johnson on for the extra point. He straightens that one out, and it's good. All Sentinels right now. It's 40-0 with 1:12 left to play in the first half. We'll be back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
At NCC, Northwest North Dakota is our backyard. The individuals and businesses who rely on NCC's services aren't just our customers. You're our neighbors, our friends, and our families. That's why we're committed to providing the high-quality internet, video, phone, and security systems you need to stay connected with the friendly, local service you deserve. NCC, making connections in Northwest North Dakota.
Another quick drive for the Sentinels, and they've scored 14 points in the first quarter, and now they've added on 27 points in the second quarter. It is 40-0, and we're going to check that RTC or the NCC scoreboard, as it does say 40. We'll keep our eyes on that as we near the end of this first half. Stick around for your halftime show. It'll be brought to you by Nodak Insurance with your agent in Watford City, McKenzie County, Eric Mogan. It was another return by Aaron Luna, and unfortunately we have another injured Watford City Wolf on the field as they're going to stop the clock. And we're going to keep it right here momentarily as the Wolves get ready to send their offense back on the field.
That was a really nice open field tackle by Connor Jost on that kickoff.
So Watford City comes out onto the field with exactly 1 minute left in this first half. It'll be a pass over to the right side intended for Winter, but it will fall to the turf. Incomplete. 40-0, the lead for Minot North. As the Wolves get ready for a 2nd and 10 with the ball spotted at their own 19-yard line. 12 first downs for Minot North before that last drive, so now they're up to 14. Watford City stuck at 2 first downs so far, and it looks like the Wolves are going to commit their first penalty of the half. So false start against Watford City, backs them up 5 yards. Their first penalty of the game. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Wolves had done a nice job in the penalty and turnover categories, but they have committed one of each of those now as the Wolves take it over the right side. And it'll be a short gain for Riley Liedel-Berger. And it doesn't look like either team is going to be in a hurry to stop the clock, with 3rd and long upcoming after that 3-yard carry for Liedel-Berger. 40-0. Sentinels with the lead after they tacked on the extra point after that last touchdown. So 14 points in the first, 26 in the second. They won this matchup 45-6 last year as Wolves give it to Wagner on the dive play. He picks up a yard. But that's it, and that'll be the end of the first half. Pretty dominating effort by the Minot North Sentinels in the first half of play, proving why they are the #1 team in the state. And hold on a second. The Minot North Sentinels, I think, were claiming that they took a timeout. Well, Watford City. Sounds like Watford City took a timeout. So it isn't quite halftime yet. We want to thank our timeout sponsor, LPL Financial with Shiloh Chavez. I want to thank all of our sponsors to make the broadcast of these games possible here on Game Day Media and also on the radio here today on Dakota Country, 96.1 KYYZ, 96.1 FM. We are online at DakotaCountry961.com. So that LPL Financial timeout was a quick one. Thank you to Shiloh Chavez. As the Wolves get ready for one last play before halftime, Salas is going to throw it deep, and it is caught. Intercepted. Oh, man. Singer thought he had it. It is wrestled away by Gunnar Jost, and there's still a second left on the clock. Wow, I did not think that there would be any time left. Ross, did that only take 4 seconds? I wasn't watching the clock.
Well, once again, I'm a little surprised by the call.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like Minot's conceding the clock has run out and they're going to the locker room. They can score just as quick as anyone, as we know.
They did expire the other 1 second that had been remaining on the clock, so some interesting movements of the clock there at the end of the half.
I did think Singer had the catch. He just got it taken away from him on the way to the ground, and that's unfortunate because he really made a nice play on the ball.
Yeah, so unfortunate way to end the half as Watford City does commit their second turnover. And once again, it's Gunnar Jost with a second interception on the defensive end of the field. So with that, we will step aside. Coming up next, it will be your halftime show brought to you by Nodak Insurance and Eric Mogan. 40-0, Sentinels with the lead. We'll be back after this 3-minute timeout.
Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app, and as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs, with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company. Stop by our office in Watford City and visit with Eric Mogan and Brady Monroe to see how we can help. This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Watford City and Alexander Athletics on Game Day Media. Call financial advisor Doug Rolfson at 701-444-4160 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When you have financial questions or ideas, you need someone to listen and provide insight about your options. Shiloh Chavez and her team with LPL Financial can review your specific situation and help create a strategy unique to you and your goals. Give her a call at 701-842-4244 or email at shiloh.chavez@lpl.com.
At Johnson & Sundin Law Office, we combine big case expertise with small town service. Since 1980, we've fought for clients across western North Dakota. From oil and gas disputes to serious injury and wrongful death cases, probate, agriculture, and more. No matter what issue, Our experienced team is ready to stand by your side. In our office in Watford City, we're here for you, wherever you are. Johnson & Sundin, expert legal representation rooted in North Dakota.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by TNT Measurements Incorporated, providing oil and gas allocation meter proving, calibrations, and production facility lac provings. To schedule your proving, contact Derek Thompson at 701-421-1351.
Welcome back to Fridley Field. Welcome into your halftime show brought to you by Nodak Insurance Company with Eric Mogan, your agent in McKenzie County and Watford City. Our mission is to meet the lifetime financial needs of our clients by providing competitive products and outstanding service. We are at the home of the Wolves. Some youngsters playing football down on the field. We'll let you in on that action while we recap this first half of play in the varsity matchup. And it's been all Minot North as we take a look at the scoring summary and the stats. Starting with the first quarter scoring summary, Minot North scored on a 10-play, 60-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock, scoring on a 3-yard touchdown run by Braden Blickery. Extra point was good from Johnson. 7-0 Sentinels with 8:18 left in the first quarter. Then after a quick one first down drive by the Wolves, Minot North got the football back. Starting at their own 46-yard line, they went 5 plays, 54 yards in 2 minutes and 6 seconds, scoring on a 12-yard touchdown run by Christian Dedmond. Extra point good again. 14-0 Sentinels with 2:23 left in the first quarter. That was the score after 1 quarter of play. In the second quarter, Minot North went 4 plays, 40 yards in 45 seconds, scoring on a 6-yard touchdown run by Christian Dedmond. Extra point was no good, making it 20-0 Minot North. They got the ball back, and then their drives got really short. A 2-play, 26-yard drive in 18 seconds, scoring on a 12-yard run by Harrison Schaefer. Extra point good, 27-0 with 10:03 left. Next drive was 2 plays, 23 yards in 39 seconds, scoring on an 18-yard run by Cyan Hannon. Extra point no good, 33-0 Minot North with 7:43 left. And then the final scoring drive was a 3-play, 24-yard drive in 56 seconds, scoring on a 14-yard touchdown pass from Braden Blickery to Josiah Jackanet. Extra point good again. 40-0 Minot North with 1:12 left in the first half. Taking a look at the stats. First off, for Minot North, 196 rushing yards, 36 passing yards for a total of 232 yards of offense. Braden Blickery going 3 for 5, passing the football for those 36 yards and a touchdown. Through the air, his leading receiver was Will Bentley, who made 2 catches for 22 yards. Both of them were 2 11-yard grabs. And then Josiah Jackanet had the 1 touchdown reception as he had 1 catch for 14 yards. Rushing the football, Cooper Chick led the way, 7 carries for 64 yards. He was the leading rusher as far as yards and attempts go, but he did not lead them in touchdowns. 4 different players scored at least 1 touchdown. As Evan Berg, he was the only other player that didn't have a rushing touchdown that did rush the football for Minot North in that first half. He had 3 carries for 32 yards. Then we get into the touchdown scores. Harrison Schaefer, 4 carries, 36 yards and a touchdown. Cyan Hannon, 4 carries, 28 yards and a touchdown. Christian Dedmond, 3 carries, 21 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Braden Blickery, 3 carries, 15 yards, and 1 touchdown. As a team, 24 carries, 196 yards, averaging 8.2 yards per carry. They averaged 12 yards per reception. They did commit 4 penalties for 35 yards, but no turnovers in what was pretty close to a perfect first half by the number 1 team in the state, the Minot North Sentinels. For Watford City, the Wolves had 40 yards of offense, 25 rushing yards, 15 passing yards. Baylor Salas completing 2 of his 8 pass attempts for 15 yards. He had 2 interceptions. Connor Winter made 1 catch for 13 yards. Cade Singer made 1 catch for 2 receiving yards. Riley Liedall-Berger, the leading rusher for the Wolves, 8 carries for 16 yards. Jaden Wagner, 5 carries for 9 yards. Carter Breitbach had a carry for 1 yard. Tristan DeVries, 3 carries, ended up with a total of 0 yards. Baylor Salas, 1 rushing attempt for -1 yard. As a team, Watford City committed 1 penalty that cost them 5 yards, and they had those 2 giveaways in the turnover category, as they were 2 interceptions. Play continuing down on the field, as we've got just a few more minutes before the teams will get back out there and get ready for the second half. And, well, Ross, if you're either coach, what are you saying here in the halftime discussion?
Well, I think if you're Coach Dooley, you have to find a way to incentivize your players to get back out there and learn from some of their mistakes and really just try and keep a more upbeat attitude. It's tough going into the second half when you're down by as much as they are. When you're Minot North, I think you go back in and you talk about the little things in execution, trying to get better in different phases of the game. It's really hard to pick any of that apart because they're playing so well.
Yeah.
But you know how it is with coaches. They'll always find something.
Yep, they always find something. That is for sure. But the job is a little bit tougher for Coach Holman there in the halftime discussion there, as he sees his team ahead 40-0 as they try to remain undefeated to start this year, coming in at 5-0. We're going to step aside for one last break during your Nodak Insurance Company halftime report. We'll be back for the second half from Watford City after this 3-minute timeout.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Since 1978, Northern States Fishing Tools of Watford City has been your trusted partner in the oil field. Serving the Wollaston Basin, we offer top-quality fishing and rental tools, including packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. With expert knowledge and decades of experience, we deliver results tailored to your needs, all at competitive prices. Give us a call, 701-842-3350, or visit northernstatesfishingtools.com. Northern States Fishing Tools, quality tools, proven service. Looking to save on fuel and fuel up fast? Patriot Fuels of Alexander, North Dakota is your partner in profit. We're proud to support the trucking industry with high-speed fueling systems, top-quality products, and vendor relationships that put your success first. Join the Patriot Fuels Fleet Card program and unlock exclusive discounts, or simply pay at the pump. Either way, you're fueling with integrity and efficiency. Patriot Fuels, driven to deliver more, located in Alexander, North Dakota. Farmers Union Oil Company of Watford City has been serving the customers in and around the surrounding community since 1929. Farmers Union Oil believes in community involvement and has supported numerous activities since the beginning. We take pride in giving back to our patrons through dividends and stock retirements. Our customer service should be our top focus to ensure a pleasurable experience for you, our customer. Whether you're looking for gas, fuel, hardware, or just needing to fuel the body, Farmers Union Oil is your one-stop shop.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Watford City and Alexander Athletics on Game Day Media. Call financial advisor Doug Rolfson at 701-444-4160 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Yep. Well, welcome back to Fridley Field as we wrap up our halftime show. We want to mind you, we've got 2 other games going on Game Day Media. You can keep up to date on the score. They're down on right below the score of our game. We see the ND Score Feed app ticker. That is a great way of keeping track of all of the games going on across the state. And we want to look ahead to next week. Boy, Ross, we've got an outstanding matchup in 9-man football action as Divide County travels south to take on Alexander, and a couple of top 5 ranked teams going at it there next week.
That should be an exciting game. It's always fun to watch a little 9-man football, too.
It certainly is. We're blessed. We got to watch a Class A game last week. We're up to AA this week. We're back to 9-man football the following week. Yeah, this time I want to give a shout out to Terry and Gail and Jelmstad. We understand that they're tuning us in tonight, and we want to send along a special hi and hello from our PA announcer, Greg McNary. Greg doing a great job as always as our PA announcer, and asked if we would give that special shout out. And when Greg asks us for a favor, we deliver.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's always nice to help out Greg. He helps us out so much and in so many different ways. Such a great asset to this Watford City community. So thank you to Greg as he's doing his best over there in the next booth over. Unfortunately, it looks like the Wolves are going to be shorthanded in the second half. I don't think we're going to see Brandon Spacier. I don't think we're going to see Tristan DeVries on the field for this second half. You hate to see kids get injured at any time, but especially in a difficult late season game here. It's hard to believe, but we are already on the second half of the season now, and these region games are stacking up here. This is the second one for the Wolves. They'll have 3 more. They go on the road for the next 2 at Jamestown and then at Bismarck St. Mary's, and end up with a home game against Devils Lake. Regardless of how the final 2 quarters of this game goes, Watford City is still very much in the thick of things as far as a playoff spot, as this is just the second region game of the year. It was a huge win for the Wolves last week over Dickinson to move them to 1-0 in the region.
Yeah, that was an impressive win, 2017, with that winning touchdown coming in the 4th quarter in the waning minutes. And so Coach Dooley really brought his kids ready to play. And, quite frankly, they're ready to play tonight, too. I mean, you're just looking at a very, very talented Minot North Sentinel team. I mean, you can't take anything away from Watford City playing against the #1 team in the state.
Yeah, they're proving it, why they are #1. They have looked all of that here tonight, both on offense and defense, and really on special teams as well. There just is not a weakness that I can detect in this Minot North team. And
no, the only thing I've seen so far is it looks to me like there is some room in that passing game. And frankly, Salas has been doing a nice job back there, and you saw that towards the tail end. He had a really nice throw. It just was a takeaway from Singer in the end. But Singer had his hands on the ball when he was coming down with it, and he just got wrestled away. They'll take care of that.
Carter Breitbach on the return. He gets it beyond the 15 up to the 20-yard line. That opening kickoff of the third quarter is brought to you by Northern States Fishing Tools, a locally owned fishing and rental tool company serving the Williston Basin since 1978. A 12-yard return there for Carter Breitbach. Watford City will start this drive at their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, we see Connor Winter coming into the game. They had a couple opportunities with him early on, and I'm sure Coach Dooley talked about some of those things at halftime. There's some bright lights in there. They just have to take advantage of them now in the second half.
Connor Winter is the wide receiver to the near side. It'll be a running play to start things, and Liedal Berger with a positive play there, trying the right side of the offensive formation, and he picks up 4 as he's helped to his feet by his teammate Jaden Wagner. Brings up 2nd and 6.
Number 52, Andres Good.
Andres Good on the tackle. Mentioned his name, I think, one other time. He was a first-team offensive lineman that came back to this team. He is a senior. Lots of seniors on this Minot North team. They were one of the most inexperienced AA teams last year due to how new their school is. but they are experienced this year, and they look like an experienced bunch out there. As there is a big TFL from Christian Dedmond.
Well, you could tell Minot North, even in the pregame and through that first quarter, they're just such a well-disciplined team. They're a well-coached team, and they're a big team. They're physical.
They are. That's very evident there as you take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay. No gain. A loss of maybe a half a yard on that play. So 3rd down and 7. What the scoreboard shows is the Wolves trying to keep this drive alive. The first one of the second half. It's a fumbled snap. Salas picks it up, tries going up the middle, and he will struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, we're just getting a little taste of what we left behind in the first half from up here in the booth. We can see Watford City wanting to stay with their running attack, and we can see the strength of Minot's defense taking care of business on that front line.
Maxwell Thornock, the 6-foot, 175-pound freshman, goes back into punt formation. He will a line drive punt go. It bounces at the 50 and gets past the return man. Good Watford City bounce. Yeah, special teams, Trayson Boss helping it go a little bit further, and there's the best punt of the night for Watford City.
He's trying to wave it down a little further.
Yeah.
That's an excellent punt for Watford City. I was glad to see him go back to the traditional punting format there. The sweep punt wasn't working that well, and so maybe this will give him a little spark coming into the third quarter on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, finally, Minot North not starting a drive in Watford City territory. I had 5 consecutive drives that Minot North started in Watford City territory here back in the first half.
Yeah, that's just asking too much of your defense.
Big hole on first down as Cyan Hannon gets the carry and close to a first down. They spotted the 42, gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
Yeah, Cyan Hannon, they're just a quick and shifty little runner. Nearly picks up a first down.
New quarterback out there, that is Xander Clean, 5'7", 150-pound sophomore. Hands it off to the fullback. That is Leon Holzer on the carry. He picks up 8 and a first down.
Yeah, it was an excellent tackle by Brogan Shannon.
Brogan Shannon has played some important minutes on the field, no doubt, for the Wolves on both offense and defense. A little more defense than offense so far. See him out there making some plays. The handoff goes to Hannon back in there at tailback. Again, Shannon on the stop after Sentinels get it into Watford City territory. The pickup of 8 yards.
Yeah, Shannon, just a sophomore in Watford City, and really having a nice game. He's been busy tonight.
2nd and 2 for Minot North, wearing their road white uniforms tonight with navy blue numerals and letters. Watford City in their home maroons. As that handoff goes to the fullback, and that time the Wolves defense was ready. Brogan Shannon.
Excellent penetration by Watford City's defensive line on that play.
Loss of a yard for Leon Holzer there. And Ross, I'm trying to pull up the stats for Minot North. Their offensive stats are absolutely ridiculous. And I don't think that I had Leon Holzer as one of the ball carriers so far. I think they'd had 14 ball carriers so far this year. He must have been one of those. As there's a pass completed over the right side, staying in bounds is big number 84, Dresden Humphreys, and he takes it inside the 10. Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay on that one.
Sophomore tight end for Minot North. Great run after catch.
And he takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Xander Clean with the completion, his first pass attempt of the game. First and goal. That handoff goes up the middle. I believe it was Caleb Pickering again on the stop as they gave it to Leon Holzer.
You can see Minot rotating in some underclassmen and some additional players in there, and Watford City able to match up a little bit better and making an excellent stop on the down.
Yeah, so I was wrong. Holzer did have 6 carries coming into the ball game for 41 yards. Minot North had 6 players with 100 yards or more rushing coming into tonight. They had 9 players with a rushing touchdown coming into tonight. We've got a timeout on the field. It's brought to you by LPL Financial and Shiloh Chavez. We'll be back to Fridley Field after this 30-second timeout.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in North Dakota, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Second and goal from the 9 for Minot North. Snap to Clean. Handoff to Hannon trying to turn the corner. A flag is thrown as the Wolves did a nice job stretching that play out. Will Langford makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and there is a flag down on the field.
You know, we said Will Langford would probably have a busy night tonight, and he has. He's made some excellent open field tackles. That one right there, as an example.
Holding, offense, number 5. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
And there was a holding call against Cam Jez, so that will back them up 10 more yards. 5th penalty of the night against Minot North. They're leading it 40-0, and now they'll run a second and goal play from the Watford City 19-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Clean in at quarterback. Takes the snap. Sets up a screen to the right side. It is caught by Holzer. And Thaden Arnold brings him down near the 10-yard line. We'll call it the 11.
You know, that just shows you the speed of Thaden Arnold. He's 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage making a tackle.
Thaden Arnold on the tackle for the Wolves.
Second completion by Xander Clean. Makes it 3rd and goal from the 11. This will be the 7th play of this drive. Longer drives of the game for Minot North. Their scoring drives in the first half were quick. 2 receivers to each side. Clean takes the snap, rolls to his right, and he's going to get hit and sacked. There's a big play for the Wolves defense. It was Jaden Wagner getting the quarterback sack. Let's take a look at your RTC Network's instant replay.
You know, no shame in Xander Clean tucking that ball away. He didn't have anything downfield, and rather than risking an interception, he just took the sack.
We're going to see a long field goal attempt. 35-yard field goal attempt for Joseph Olson. Ball on the right hash mark.
He's got the leg.
Boy, it looks good from here. It is. How about that? 35-yard field goal puts the Sentinels ahead 43-0. We'll be back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
At NCC, Northwest North Dakota is our backyard. The individuals and businesses who rely on NCC's services aren't just our customers. You're our neighbors, our friends, and our families. That's why we're committed to providing the high-quality internet, video, phone, and security systems you need to stay connected with the friendly, local service you deserve. NCC, making connections in Northwest North Dakota.
Boy, Ross, that was an awful good field goal attempt there for Minot North. They can do a little bit of everything, can't they?
Well, they sure can. They talk about 3 phases. They've got them all. And, we knew he had the leg strength, but the accuracy, that was a great kick. That's a luxury to have when you're Minot North.
That certainly is. That could play a role into the postseason. And there, he's fired up. He lets that one fly, and it's a touchback after giving his team a 43-0 lead. He adds on the touchback and gets some greetings from his coach over there on the sideline. So that'll back the Wolves up to their own 20-yard line to start this drive, the second one for them in this second half. 2 first downs tonight for Watford City. Would love to see them string a couple together as they try to close out this game strong and then prepare for next week. Another stiff test as the Wolves go on the road to take on Jamestown. Fumble as Wagner was unable to receive the handoff. Minot North says they have it. And looks like they do. Number 56, Connor Christopher, comes out of that scrum with the football. And that will conclude the third quarter. Connor Christopher with the fumble recovery. Third takeaway of the night for Minot North. We're back with the fourth quarter after this 1-minute timeout.
When you have financial questions or ideas, you need someone to listen and provide insight about your options. Shiloh Chavez and her team with LPL Financial can review your specific situation and help create a strategy unique to you and your goals. Give her a call at 701-842-4244 or email at shiloh.chavez@lpl.com.
So Minot North takes over at the Watford City 20-yard line after that fumble recovery, their first fumble recovery of the game. That adds on to the 2 interceptions that they had earlier tonight. And Minot North, once again, knocking on the door. And they've got another new quarterback in there. That's Ty Iverson in front of an I formation. Handoff goes to Cyan Hannon over the left side. And he picks up about 4 yards down near the 15-yard line before Harper Moberg makes the tackle. Harper still playing hard for the Wolves. The leading tackler for Watford City adds another one to his game and season total with that tackle after a 5-yard gain.
Go back to that fumble of Watford City. That was just some trouble on the exchange. It looked like the ball got placed a little high. The running back never had an opportunity to get his hands on it.
The Wolves -3 in the turnover differential. They had been doing such a good job in that, as some inexperienced players out there not quite sure where to line up, but they're all set. It looks like they're going to avoid the penalty, and the handoff is delivered, but the Wolves' defensive line is ready. Good job by Watford City's defense. No gain on that play.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Watford City. There's a big deficit on the scoreboard, but there's no quit in these young men. They're still playing hard, and I'm really proud to see that.
Brings up 3rd and 5. Ball spotted right in between the hash marks. And a loss tonight hurts as far as standings go and everything, but certainly everything's still on the table for Watford City. Still got a lot of season left to go, and hopefully a few lessons learned tonight that they can take forward into their final few games of this regular season. Toss to Cyan Hannon. Big hole over the left side, and he will get it inside the 10 for another Minot North first down.
Yeah, I kind of hate to say this, but unfortunately for Watford City, it's a little bit of a war of attrition right now in the injury department.
It is, yeah. They had some injuries early on in the year. Then they had a stretch where they stayed pretty healthy. But yeah, unfortunately tonight, looks like we've seen all we're going to see on the field today of Brandon Spacier and Tristan DeVries, as it's now 1st and goal from the 9 for Minot North. Iverson under center, hands it off. Brogan Shannon in on the tackle along with John Holland for a loss. Bring up second and goal. Gavin Gathman, the ball carrier on that play. Lost a couple. Brings up second and goal. Ball spotted just outside the 10. We'll call it the 11. One receiver to each side. I formation behind Iverson. And now the referees are stopping the clock. And it looks like it will be a timeout. So we've got a timeout on the field. It's brought to you by Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial. And we'll be back with second and goal for the Sentinels after this 30-second timeout.
Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app. And as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company. Stop by our office in Watford City and visit with Eric Mogan and Brady Monroe to see how we can help.
Right. Welcome back to Fridley Field. Beautiful night here on the first Friday in October. A fumbled snap. I think his knee was down. And that will be all for that second down play, as it never really had a chance to develop for Ty Iverson. Loss of a yard, and now a good opportunity here for both teams. With a third and goal from the 12, Watford City can try to dial up a good defensive play. We might see Minot North put it in the air with their third quarterback of the game in there. And if they can't complete a pass, we know that they can make a field goal. Nice play action fake by Iverson. Throws it into the end zone. Incomplete. Cade Singer providing the defensive coverage. There's the intended receiver was Jamison Langanger, and that will bring up a fourth and goal for the Sentinels.
Great defense by Singer. Number 13, their quarterback, he's just a sophomore, I believe, Ty Iverson. I think there's a nice ball.
And it had a nice play action fake there. That's you can tell all of these boys practice for sure. And now they will go for it on fourth down. So they've seen what the kicker can do. Now they're going to see what their offense can do on a fourth and goal from the 13-yard line. Iverson, good protection, throws it into the end zone on the left side. He's got a man. Incomplete. May have thrown a little bit too far out of the back of the end zone. And that's a turnover on downs. Intended receiver was Cole Richardson.
Yeah, definitely Richardson had a chance at it, but even if he comes down with that ball, he's out of the end zone.
Okay. So the Wolves get the turnover on downs. Send their offense back out on the field with 7:33 left to go in the fourth quarter. So Minot North is back home next week, taking on Devil's Lake. That looks like it'll be a top 5 matchup next week. Meanwhile, Watford City travels on the road as they go to Jamestown for a really important Double-A West matchup. Wolves offense back on the field. And not much running room for Carter Breitbach as he tries the left side of the offensive formation there on first down.
Loss of about a yard on the play. Bring up second and 11.
Yeah, the penetration of Minot's defense, it doesn't really seem to matter who's out there right now. They really get after it.
Yeah, we're going to have our work cut out for us trying to pick a First International Bank and Trust player of the game. It's just like their stats coming into tonight. There's about 15 guys that you could give it to here. And Salas takes the snap, rolls to his right, passes to his right. There, it's caught by Breitbach. Good tackle by Holzer, but a nice completion for the Wolves along the far sideline.
Nice catch by Carter Breitbach. Brought it in, secured the ball. Out of bounds, stopped the clock.
First catch of the game for Breitbach. Gets it up to the 18-yard line. Third completion of the night for Baylor Salas.
You know, you talk about the player of the game, and a lot of times we do focus on the offensive side of the ball, but I have to tell you, collectively, It's this Minot defense that has impressed me tonight.
Absolutely. And there, too, it's been such a team effort. I can't say that one or two individuals have really jumped out. It's just been such a solid team effort as flags fly to blow this play dead. False start against the Wolves.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, Titus. Earlier before we got on the air, I was talking to Coach Holman, and he said just that. On defense, he said, we have 11 defensemen.
Oh, yeah.
And he loves them all.
Yes.
They fly to the ball. They really get it done.
Yeah, the depth of this team is really something to admire as they're still playing hard late into the fourth quarter now as we near the 5-minute mark. 3rd and 9. Ooh, movement along both sides of the line. Who jumped first? See if Minot North give the 5 yards back, and they do.
Defense number 68, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
5-yard penalty against the Sentinels, their 6th penalty of the night. And so we go from 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9 to back to 3rd and 4. I think the play call has probably changed the way the Wolves are ready to go for this one. Salas takes the snap, rolls to the near side, and he's going to stay on his feet as he gets hit hard at the 21-yard line. A positive carry, but not enough for a first down.
Just short of a first down.
3rd and short for the Wolves.
That was a really nice open field tackle by Minot. I thought Baylor, with his quickness, was getting it around the edge.
He was stopped short. It's now 4th and 2. Wolves likely will go for it here, trailing 43-0 as we near the 4-minute mark remaining in this fourth quarter on your NCC scoreboard. It will be Wagner with the first down and plunges ahead to the 34-yard line. A good gain of 13 there for Watford City.
There's a little bit of something we're more accustomed to seeing out of the Watford City offense.
So the 4th down conversion keeps this drive alive for the Wolves, and they get it out to the 33-yard line. Wagner now with 6 carries for 22 yards. He is the leading rusher for the Wolves tonight. Came in as the 3rd leading rusher for Watford City. As Salas takes the snap, spinning handoff to Breitbach, who finds some running room as he cuts it up in between the hash marks, gets it beyond the 40, near the 41, gain of 8.
Really nice run by Carter Breitbach. Got an opportunity to show his speed there. I got to tip my hat to Baylor Salas, too. I mean, he's had a tough evening, even just because of the quality of Minot's defense, but he's really done a good job of marshaling this offense when he's had an opportunity.
2nd and 2 for Watford City. One of those early season injuries was to Wyatt Bockelman. It'll be interesting to see how Coach Dooley handles the quarterback position as the season goes along between Salas and Bockelman. Salas throws it to the right side, a diving interception by Dawson Leatham. 4th takeaway of the night for Minot North's defense.
That was quite a play by Dawson Leatham. He just sold out, made a nice catch on that ball. That wasn't an easy catch at all.
Wow. Just when the Wolves had a little something cooking offensively, Minot North gets the takeaway, and their offense comes back onto the field. A 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line.
Well, I like the throw. He had it down and away, and just the defender just made a really special play on that ball.
Xander Clean back in at quarterback. I formation behind him. As Clean takes the snap, hands it off to Hannon. Tackled by Harper Moberg. Harper's still out there making plays defensively. Gain of 7 for Hannon.
Looked like Watford City had a little miscommunication on that play. Colton Lewis coming in at the tail end of it, just hustling to get to the far side of the field to get into position.
7-yard pickup there. Clock continuing to run. We'll see if Minot North just kneels it down or if they run a few more offensive plays. Wolves not showing any signs of taking a timeout. That'll be a handoff to the fullback, and that will be another first down. That was Scott Triplett with his first carry of the game.
Number 33, Scott Triplett.
And he picks up a first down, the 18th first down of the night for Minot North. Gain of 8. Clean under center. Hands it off to the fullback once again. That time it was Gathman, I believe. And he will pick up a couple yards, and that will likely be the final play of the game. So Minot North makes the trip to Watford City, and they get the big W here tonight, 43-0. So the Sentinels get the win on the road as the teams will meet and shake hands at midfield. We're going to have our work cut out for us as we get ready to send Ross Sundin down on the field. We're going to have to make a decision on who our first International Bank and Trust player of the game is. And Ross will hopefully be able to catch up with the victorious head coach tonight, Jacob Holman of his number 1 Minot North Sentinels. Stick around. We'll be back for your Johnson & Sundin Law Office post-game show after this 2-minute timeout.
Looking to save on fuel and fuel up fast? Patriot Fuels of Alexander, North Dakota is your partner in profit. We're proud to support the trucking industry with high-speed fueling systems, top-quality products, and vendor relationships that put your success first. Join the Patriot Fuels Fleet Card program and unlock exclusive discounts, or simply pay at the pump. Either way, you're fueling with integrity and efficiency. Patriot Fuels, driven to deliver more. Located in Alexander, North Dakota. At Johnson & Sundin Law Office, we combine big case expertise with small town service. Since 1980, we've fought for clients across western North Dakota. From oil and gas disputes to serious injury and wrongful death cases, probate, agriculture, and more. No matter what issue, our experienced team is ready to stand by your side. In our office in Watford City, we're here for you, wherever you are. Johnson & Sundin, expert legal representation rooted in North Dakota.
Imagine working with a team where your well-being is a top priority. At NCC, we champion work-life balance. Our culture ensures you have the time you need for life's important moments. We offer competitive pay that recognizes your hard work. Plus, enjoy comprehensive health insurance that puts your mind at ease. You'll also receive generous paid time off. And think future forward with our retirement contributions, securing your financial peace of mind. Join a team that values you. Work somewhere great and thrive. Don't wait for opportunity to knock. Open the door. Apply today at NCC. Visit nccray.com/careers.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Watford City and Alexander Athletics on Game Day Media. Call financial advisor Doug Rolfson at 701-444-4160 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Okay. Welcome back to your Fridley Field. Welcome inside your Johnson & Sundin Law Office post-game show. And we have made a decision on our first International Bank and Trust player of the game. It's going to be Braden Blickery, and Ross Sundin is down on the field. He is caught up with our player of the game. Ross, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thank you, Titus. I'm here with Braden Blickery, the first International Bank and Trust player of the game. Braden, 2 touchdowns tonight. More importantly, you marshaled your Sentinels to victory, and you look good doing it. Can you tell me a little bit about the game?
Well, we were preparing hard all week because they play a funky offense, so, our defense had to adjust, but I think we prepared good, and we just ran the ball well, and shout out to my linemen for creating great holes all game long.
You have a very impressive line, and you also have a very impressive tight end in Will Bentley.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about playing with those guys.
Well, none of them are afraid to lower their head and get downhill, so I love playing with those type of guys, and they're always going to fight for another yard, so love it.
You're fun to watch. I look forward to a good season. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right.
Titus, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ross. Great to get some immediate reaction there from the field as Braden Blickery, he looks like he is the leader of this team, and it'll be interesting to see how far this Minot North team can go. So again, player of the game brought to you by First International Bank & Trust, a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Once again, we want to welcome you into your Johnson & Sundin Law Office post-game show. Johnson & Sundin Law Office providing quality legal expertise with common sense and small-town service. Let's take a look at the second half scoring summary. All Minot North, they added a field goal after leading it 40-0 in the first half. After the first half of play, they went 8 plays, 50 yards, in a little over 6 minutes, scoring on a 35-yard field goal by Joseph Olson. They made it 43-0 with 1:15 left in the third. That was all of the scoring in the second half of play after they led it 40-0 at the break. Let's take a look at the final stats from this one. Minot North, 330 total yards of offense, 247 rushing yards, 83 passing yards, 36 of them coming from Braden Blickery, our First International Bank & Trust player of the game. He went 3 of 5 for those 36 yards and a touchdown. Xander Clean was 2 for 2 for 47 yards. Ty Iverson was 0 for 2. Leading receiver was Dresden Humphreys with a 39-yard reception. Will Bentley, 2 catches for 22 yards. Josiah Jacquenet, a catch for 14 yards and a touchdown. Leon Holzer, 1 reception for 8 yards. On the ground, 4 different players scored a rushing touchdown tonight for Minot North. They were led by Cyan Hannon with 9 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Chick had 7 carries for 64 yards. Cyan Hannon with 9 carries for 63 yards. He had 1 touchdown. Then it was Harrison Schaefer, 4 carries, 36 yards and a touchdown. Evan Berg had 3 carries for 32 yards. Christian Dedman, 3 carries, 21 yards and 2 touchdowns. The 2 touchdowns on 3 carries. Pretty impressive right there. And then Braden Blickery with 3 carries for 15 yards and a touchdown. Leon Holzer, 4 carries for 8 yards. Scott Triplett, 1 carry for 8 yards. Gavin Gathman, 2 carries for 1 yard. As a team, 37 carries for 247 rushing yards for the Sentinels, as they rushed for 5 touchdowns tonight, averaging 6.7 yards per carry. They didn't have 6 penalties for 50 yards. They had 4 takeaways tonight. For Watford City, they had 73 yards of offense, 52 rushing yards, 21 passing yards. Tough night for Baylor Salas. He goes 3 for 10 for 21 yards, 3 interceptions. Connor Winter, the leading receiver, with 13 yards. Carter Breitbach, a catch for 6 yards. Cade Singer with a catch for 2 yards. We'll get ready for the rushing stats, but it looks like Ross Sundin has caught up with Watford City head coach Jim Dooley. So with that, we will send it down to the field and Ross Sundin.
Coach Dooley, thank you for giving us some of your time. Tough loss, 47 points put up on the board by that Sentinel team, but they are a team, are they not?
They are. They're legitimate. I mean, they're the real deal. And we just said, look, it was, it wasn't a good game for us. It was kind of a tough week around here with some things that happened with, a lot of guys had a memorial service for a teacher for pregame practice, and that's tough. But we can take some things out of this. I said we're going to take the good things, we're going to put the rest there and just leave it and move forward, because honestly this doesn't derail us from any of the goals we've had. It doesn't derail us from any of the ambitions we've had for the season. We still have everything in front of us that we're trying to accomplish. So that was a glitch. It was a really good team, and we would have had to play exceptionally well. We did not do that, and they proved why they're the #1 team in the state. But moving forward, we have some things to build on, I think.
Coach, just watching their defense, they really fly around out there, and it truly is a team effort for the Sentinels. They were physical, and you guys suffered the wrath on the injury side. How are we looking there?
Well, hopefully okay. That that was kind of big, losing one of our key linemen right away before he didn't play an offensive snap. He got hurt on defense. So, and that's sometimes what happens when you don't have, and our depth is pretty good, but it's not like what theirs is. and that's that made it kind of tough. So we had to change some sets. We had to move some people around. We had to take Lewis Larson and change his number. He had to play tackle instead of tight end, and it just kind of took us out of some things we'd game planned for, and we just kind of had to wing it as we were going along, just because and then Tristan, I'm hopeful we get both of them back next week.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time.
Okay, thanks.
Titus, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ross. Great job down there, as always, doing the hardest job, I think, from a broadcasting standpoint, is the sideline interviewer, and he did a great job tonight, getting you both pregame and postgame reaction and thoughts. Those coaches' comments brought to you by Farmers Union Oil Company of Watford City. Let's take a look at the Watford City stats on rushing offense tonight. Riley Liedalberger carried the ball 10 times for 20 yards. Jaden Wagner leading ball carrier tonight for the Wolves with 22 yards on 6 attempts. Carter Breitbach carried it 3 times for 9 yards. Baylor Salas 3 carries for 1 yard. Tristan DeVries with 3 carries for 0 yards. And heard Coach Dooley mention him right there. Hopefully the Wolves will get him back for next week. The Wolves committed 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and lost a fumble. Just 2 penalties tonight that cost the Wolves 10 yards. So one positive aspect right there. So that will do it for our coverage here tonight. The final score, once again, Minot North 43, Watford City nothing with the win. Minot North improves to 6-0, undefeated, and I'm pretty sure, no doubt, that they're going to stay the #1 team in the state as they prepare for Devil's Lake next week. For Watford City, they will go on the road to Jamestown next week. Wolves will try to get healthy and learn some things from this loss and move forward to Jamestown next week. For us, next week will be interesting. It sounds like we're going to have a volleyball broadcast down here in Watford City on Monday night. Last I heard, we are good to go for a Stanley at Watford City volleyball match on Monday night. That'll be here on Game Day Media. And our next broadcast of football will be next Friday over in Alexander. The #5 team in the state, the Divide County Maroons, come down from Crosby to visit the #4 team in the state, the Alexander Comets, in what could be a matchup of undefeated teams and 2 top 5 ranked teams in the state. It's really rare that you get a top 5 matchup in 9-man football in the regular season with 2 teams from the same region, but that is what we're looking forward to next week. So welcome my partner, Ross Sundin, back up into the booth. Ross, any final thoughts before we sign off for this week's edition of Watford City Wolves football?
Just one, Titus. I think tonight we saw the real deal in the Minot North Sentinels. That's about as complete a team as we've seen all year.
Yep, they were impressive to watch. We'll see what they can do as we'll keep an eye on them from afar as they continue throughout their regular season. It'll take an enormous effort if any team is going to knock them off here in the regular season. Not only that, I think heading into the playoffs, they're going to be, if not the team to beat, certainly one of the teams to beat in the state of North Dakota.
Absolutely. So balanced.
Yes, and offense and defense, it'll be a hard thing for any coach to come up with a scheme to slow those guys down or gain some yardage against their defense.
Absolutely.
So with that, we want to say thank you to you, the watcher and listener tonight, whether you were watching us on Game Day Media or listening to us on Dakota Country 96.1. Want to thank our studio engineer back in our Williston studios, Jaden Quandy, doing a great job, as always, from our Dakota Country 96.1 studios. Want to thank everybody here in the booth. Curtis Long, great to have him back on the camera. Jackson Lee doing a great job as producer. And Ross Sundin, I couldn't do this without you, partner. You did a great job up here and down on the field. Great job as always. Once again, my name is Titus Stenberg. I want to thank all the sponsors to make the broadcast of these games possible. And we look forward to bringing you another game next week. It'll be 9-man football from Alexander. Until then, this is Game Day Media signing off from Fridley Field. So long, everybody.
Tonight's Game Day Media broadcast was brought to you by RTC Networks, Hagen Equipment Incorporated, First International Bank and Trust, Nodak Insurance Company, Eric Mogan, Johnson and Sundin, Attorneys at Law, Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial. Farmers Union Oil of Watford City. Patriot Fuels, LLC. McKenzie County Heritage Park and Museum. Cornerstone Bank.
T&T Measurements Incorporated.
Northern States Fishing Tools. WCAG Church. Doug Rolfson, Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Wolfpack Booster Club. NCC. Dakota Country 96.1 FM.